printing is a method, sometimes called additive manufacturing, of creating real-world objects from computer-generated designs. A 3D printer works by depositing layer by layer of materials that match the 3D digital model.
3D printing is not a new technology. It was originally created to create smaller versions of the objects to test it before spending the time and the money on creating the actual product. It has rapidly grown in popularity over the last few years due to the size, affordability, and usability.
Nowadays, 3D printing is used in a wide variety of methods, materials, and applications, from kitchen utensils to jet engines. We will discover how 3D printing has advanced and what other ways a 3D printer can be used for through social and complex issues.
3D printing has an impact on the world, society, and individuals through multiple lenses. These lenses include the medical industry, the individual and their creative power, and through the business or economical aspect of global shifts.
We will first seek to explore the potential pros and cons of a 3D printer in the medical industry.
Hi, Dr. Nathan, could you please give us a little introduction about your profession and your background?
My name is Nathan Taikaki. I am a PhD in pharmacology and toxicology here at Michigan State University. My research is lower urinary tract function and dysfunction, and trying to, understand how a part of the body most of you have ignored your entire life, how it works.
So you have a relationship with 3D printing in your research. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I got into 3D printing when I was trying to build a device that didn't exist to be able to image a bladder. And in the course of designing this, I talked to a company about prototyping it that was in Vermont, and they quoted me something insane like $500 a prototype for each iteration. And if anybody that does prototyping knows, there's a lot more than one iteration. So I looked it up online and was like, wow, for $1,000, I can buy my own printer and I can print this myself. So I did. And that has just exploded from there, where I started making every possible thing we could need for the lab in-house. And the great thing about it, one, is it's pennies on the dollar, in less than pennies on the dollar. So that thing that they charged me $500 for, in the end, was about $1.65 in plastic. And so I see hospitals and medical practices and medical researchers starting to realize that this can be really useful in their aspect, just invaluable in terms of the medical field, to be able to say, make a bone graft that, somebody had a skull injury, to be able to make a bone graft where we could actually map that size and make it so it's actually perfect with a person's head. Casts and orthotics and prosthetics. I mean, orthotics and prosthetics have done that. I mean, most people don't realize it, but in the medical field, 3D printing has been used in the orthodontic field, 3D printing has been used for a heck of a long time, because all of your Invisalign teeth manipulators, orthodontics, all of those are 3D printed.
My name is Stanley. I am an employee at a gun store.
And have you ever heard of a 3D printer or used one?
I obviously know what a 3D printer is. No, I've never used one. I'm not that smart.
If 3D printing were to evolve in the world, do you feel that it should be allowed for individuals to produce their own weapons?
At current moment, you can legally do that now. You are allowed to manufacture yourself a firearm. You see that a lot with the Polymer 80 pistol stuff, and then your 80% lower receivers and stuff for ARs. But at current moment, you can legally manufacture yourself a firearm. So do I think we can continue unless the laws change? Then I would think I see no reason with it. If it's legal, then there's no reason you wouldn't be able to.
What is your profession?
I'm a foreman for a concrete construction company.
Have you ever heard of a 3D printer?
Yes.
Have you ever used a 3D printer?
No, I have not.
Okay. Do you feel that it would make your jobs easier?
Well, it's going to make the job easier for someone, but I would have to say the cost is going to be astronomical, seeing how much one of those 3D printers are going to cost. And then on top of that, you have one person typing it into a computer to program it, to do it. So you're taking a lot of work away from people that actually build it. it won't replace necessarily what I do, but it will replace jobs for people that actually build like block layers, concrete, cement masons, bricklayers. It will definitely replace them.
Would you agree that a concrete 3D printer might be a faster, cheaper, more efficient way to build buildings and houses? What is your stand on it?
I don't think it would be cheaper. Someone's got to pay for the equipment. It's pretty cool looking, but
Right.
you know, we don't see any reinforcing in it. So how's it going to stay together?
3D printing makes making things easier, but it's slow. You know, the thing you lose with 3D printing is speed. I think it's slow, but I think what you gain is that precision and customizability. It hasn't gotten to the level of like my parents, you know, buying buying a printer for their house. But I think that we're going to see your generation, you know, and probably mine. This will be a very common thing as, you know, these groups continue to expand that are sharing designs of useful things for the home.